Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
What's going on, dude? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling okay.
Well,
yeah, I'm okay.
Just real quick, Chase. Bryan had coronavirus and it almost killed him.
Oh shit! You know what? I saw that on Twitter. I think.
Oh yeah, that's me, man.
Man, that sucked.
Yeah,
that's awful. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah.
I have used your story, Bryan, to like make my case to naysayers so much.
Oh man, I know that's so crazy that there are naysayers. It's
How long
only
in
in America is it a political issue?
Well, I've heard. I actually, I saw in Brazil they're being wild about it too. But I feel like you can write off Brazilians.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know why.
They're like in dire straits to get those butt implants.
That's right. They got to do it. Yeah, we have no excuse. There's no butts in America.
Bryan, how long are you? I'm sorry, that just landed. How long are you COVID free?
About 2.5 weeks now.
Yeah. Jesus.
You lost like a ton of weight on it, right?
Yeah,
like
I lost 30 pounds because I didn't eat anything in the hospital.
Yeah, you can't.
And it just kills your body.
Mm-hmm.
You lost all that weight, but not bringing any air into your body for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, my arms and legs are like so skinny. It's so weird.
Wow. What do you? I mean, do you have your appetite back?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling. I'm starting to get back to normal. My lungs are still not 100%.
Yeah.
Like I walked up the hill today, coming back home from the grocery store, and it was killing me. But I'm slowly getting back to normal.
Like Bryan, we got to get to the show, but it's just like, but I just wonder because it's like I know that you are, like you're a runner like me. We both like to run, but also you do have asthma. So I was hoping that would balance those balance your lungs out. It's like weak strong.
Exactly.
I mean, it might have helped, dude. Like having done running, for a disease that becomes respiratory. Like it might have helped having that conditioning already.
That's true. Hopefully,
I'm no doctor.
Yeah, it's just it was like the first week I was doing really really bad, and then the second week it just turned around and I got better. So who knows why that happened? Because some people, even our age, like their organs failed and then they passed away. It's like it's such a weird virus.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Super
well,
spooky like that.
I guess I should say welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs and the coronavirus. My name's Chase, and it's Nick and Chase. My name's Chase. God, Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Nick. It's your turn.
Nick, and with us today is our fabulous guest, one of my oldest friends in comedy, the magnificent Bryan Yang.
Hey, what's up, guys? Fuck this place.
And recently recovered from the disease sweeping the nation.
Yes.
It's sweeping the nation.
It really and truly is. Now starting to actually sweep the nation. So bummer on that one.
All right, well let's get right into it. So Bryan, I don't know why I'm taking over right now.
Yeah, do it, Nick. Fine. I love this.
I'm just excited to have Bryan on. So long,
I love when you take over.
The first game we like to play on the podcast is called Fuck This Place. Fuck This Place. Fuck This Place.
Fuck This Place.
And what we do normally is we look up Craigslist jobs from your hometown. But Bryan, you kind of split hometowns growing up between Denver and Sacramento. So what we did, we found jobs from both. And
cool.
and so what we're going to do today is we're going to have 3 job listings for you to choose from. Chase will read for you. And you're going to pick 2 of them, the 2 that you want to click on and kind of read through. And then we'll trash the other one.
Yep. So I'm going to read, I'll screen share so you can see it, but I'm going to read you the titles and you can just tell me the one you don't want to look at, and then we'll look at the other 2. So the first 2 are from Sacramento and the last one is from Denver, Craigslist. So first one is inmate looking for a typist to write a book.
Okay.
Number 2 is also from Sacramento, body grooming waxing. And number 3 from Denver, which may come as no surprise to you, we'll see, is male models to pose for erotic greeting cards.
Okay. I gotta say, let's go with number 1 and number 3. So let's get one Sacramento and one Denver in here.
Tight.
Nice.
So we are skipping body grooming waxing. Fuck that place. No interest. Fine. Okay, let's
Chase
take a look.
being very brave and sharing his screen with me right now.
That's right. Don't worry. It's just
Hopefully
cool
all
backgrounds.
the tabs
yo.
are closed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Every week before we start, I clean everything off my desktop.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Sharing my screen.
Yeah, you're not even sharing your screen, but it does pay to be careful. Okay, so inmate looking for a typist to write a book is the title of this posting, and it's not too long. And there's a bunch of things that are suspicious about this, but it says, "I'm in prison." They're honest. I appreciate that, and would like to write a memoir. I'm looking for a typist to type up and mail me what I write. Pay is $20 an hour.
Wow.
Plus expenses, ink, paper, envelopes, stamps. All right, we're going to stop there for just a second. How many hours do you think that you're going to put in, and how do they have the money to pay?
This guy is flush with cigarettes in prison, then I'm sure if he has.
Or could be a rich person in prison, like a Martha Stewart situation.
Chase, where are you from originally?
I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay. So Nick knows this, but being in prison is very Sacramento.
Is there like a big prison in Sacramento?
There is a big prison, Folsom County Prison,
okay,
which is famous.
The Folsom County.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, prison culture is a big part of being from Sacramento for some reason.
All right.
And as Nick's from Stockton, so prison culture is even bigger there.
Yeah. It's cool. That's all the cool kid shit over there. What I like.
So maybe this person's just trying to fit in. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this is that he's talking about like expenses, ink, paper, envelopes. Like this guy doesn't know what computers are. Like despite having
yeah.
Like, look,
he's been in the joint for like 30 years.
Yeah. Like, I will provide the whiteout, whatever you need.
Typewriter ribbons.
Yeah. That, I mean, those two things, the fact that they're considering paying you $20 an hour plus the erroneous list of supplies does cause a red flag. Then it says, do not reply by email. I guess that makes sense because you're in prison. I'm sure it's sort of a mail-based situation, which is maybe why they're not considering common word processors like Microsoft Word. Then it says, write me a letter with full name and return address on the envelope. Otherwise, it will be mail violation and not received. I appreciate the thoroughness.
Do you think that this guy's like, I feel like this guy, like back to the supplies and stuff, that he's talking to his like other inmate friends, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to pay someone to write my memoir. And then they're like, well, you're going to cover the ink, right? Like, you cover ink. Come on.
Listen, bro.
It's like worth so much in there. They're like, it's rude for you to not cover ink.
That, or they're very aware that the gig economy has completely collapsed. And so it's important to show that, whoever you're planning on freelancing with, that you're covering the bases.
Employers of corporations are evil is that they sound exactly the same as a guy in prison.
Yeah. That is.
This is like the same description that like Target would put out for a job, but Target would pay less than $20 an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, actually, I think this person's paying more than like a standard copywriting gig.
Oh yeah.
Like I wrote for ranker.com for about I don't know 6 or 7 articles, and it's like $50 an article. It's like way more. It was way less than $20 an hour.
Oh yeah, Ranker was gouging you. This prisoner is a stand-up guy.
So I'm leaning in the right direction then. Okay, so write me a letter. Then it says, tell me a bit about yourself. Why not?
Can you describe your feet? I'm lonely.
Describe. Then it says only must is the ability to type and light internet research.
Okay.
Light. Also, you must be okay with an anti-#MeToo theme.
Oh, he had me until the end. I like this guy.
I was almost there. And then
Yeah.
and then it says afterwards, thank you. Just, you're welcome.
So
You're welcome.
now we know this is Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no one else this could be.
Yeah, someone who can afford $20 an hour plus expenses.
Yeah.
I'm not saying who I am, but this book is gonna be anti-Me Too.
He's just like, trust me, they might even make a movie out of this.
If it's an independent, I promise it'll get picked up.
Fellow COVID survivor Harvey Weinstein. Me and Harvey have a lot in common.
You're 100% correct. 100% correct, because he is truly the only person who suffered any legal consequences whatsoever.
Yeah,
so you're
him
right.
And Cosby. That's it.
Oh, and Cosby. Right.
Yeah, two people.
Right. There's no way Cosby wrote this. He wouldn't say thank you at the end.
Yeah.
And then it does say mail response to it. And then there's an address that is definitely not in Sacramento. It's in Oregon.
Weird.
So I find that strange. But I'm zooming out on the map here just in case. And so far, I think this person is in Oregon. So they are
right?
really... Say what?
Oh, he's on the run.
Oh, yeah. That's a live tracker dot of him going up McNary Freeway.
He's casting a wide net for this employment opportunity for sure.
Well, yeah.
Perhaps he's fishing inside the Sacramento Craigslist because he knows culturally people are sensitive to these sorts of things.
Yes, we love prisoners. We just do.
But the jury's out on them.
It's funny to me that he's like, not even like you have to be okay with an anti-Me Too theme, which like the whole book is gonna be.
Yeah. How much do you have to say
throughout the whole book? It's not even like a chapter or just like his personal opinion for a second. It's like it's gonna be about. This is like the way Saving Private Ryan had a war theme.
Well, and to be clear, this is not just a book. This is a memoir.
Right. So we know he's like, you're literally in prison for rape, aren't you? You're a rapist.
100%. Yeah, you are real bad.
Yeah, you're not a good guy.
$20
$20
an hour, though.
I'm gonna say no, because I feel like this guy I'm gonna be writing his memoir and it's gonna be awful, but then he's also gonna veer off into like talk about other shit. I know he is. Like I just feel like he's got a lot of opinions on shit that's not what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna go off the rails and start yelling at me about like the Cardinals in 1977 or whatever else, you know. So,
yeah, something he's real hung up on.
You can tell he's one of those guys. When I was in college, I remember there was like, you know, everyone was 18, and then there's the one guy who was like 55 years old who had gotten into college for some reason.
Yeah.
And every class he would have some insane story about something he did. And one class he was like, 30 years ago, I invented a car that ran on air. Government came down and shut me down. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this is that guy. He would definitely veer you off into like...
You're 100% correct. This is like, if you're willing to say your memoir has an extremely unpopular theme, then yeah, you've got some other opinions about some other dumb shit.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm also going to say...
I wonder what this guy thinks about Nazis.
We've got an anti-Me Too theme and maybe a pro-Nazi theme. Yeah, I'm going to say fuck this place.
And it doesn't sound like he's going to provide benefits either, so fuck this place.
Yeah. If you had dental in there, I would consider it.
I would consider you never get dental and vision.
Okay, great. So post number 2 is from Denver, and it is male models to pose for erotic greeting cards. Very exciting. It says, I'm looking for men comfortable... Sorry, I have the hiccups. I don't know. I am looking for men comfortable showing off their bodies naked. I appreciate the honesty right away.
Straight up.
I photograph for erotic and semi. I would like to point out the spelling of semi is wrong. I photograph for erotic and semi-erotic greeting cards. I also photograph for some erotic funny cards.
Oh,
I
what
do
a
like
wide
they're
breadth of eroticism.
of the full breath, and I also like that it's immediately like, hey, look, I know if you're not hot, like you can still do something.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
if you're
basically,
ugly,
if you're not hot, you're like you fall into the funny category.
yeah. Don't worry, I
Chris
got
Farley
something for you.
naked is funny. Brad Pitt naked is hot.
Yeah, correct. Okay, then it says, you know the type. You've seen them with a naked bodybuilder or extremely well-defined male body. I do know the type. I'm familiar.
This is like I feel like you see those at like gas stations out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's like some goofy like, oh, I got you this 10 on a scale, and you open up, it's like some joke, whatever, but it's like a ridiculously buff guy.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Card.
Yeah, or like a deck of cards or something with just like construction.
Oh
markers
yeah,
on it.
perfect. Yeah. Then it's a dumb punchline, whatever.
Then it says, even with some guys that are not, you've seen them, you know, the type, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you've seen them with a naked bodybuilder or extremely well-defined male body, even with some guys that are not totally ripped and some guy that is even with some guys that are not totally ripped and some that the guy is heavy set. Yeah, we get it. Like, you'll take pictures of ugly people. We have learned to use all types of men's bodies. I appreciate the body positivity.
Yeah, I also like that they've taken the time to learn to take pictures of unattracted people.
Yeah, like,
I've
listen,
grown a
I didn't know
lot.
what to do for years.
He's like, look, we started with a whole different set of guys here, okay? I'm the last one left of the team. We've learned to like lost people along the way trying to learn to take pictures of unattractive people.
It took years of expertise and trial and error. Okay, then it says, so if you're comfortable totally naked, we would like to talk to you. Okay.
We.
Okay. I've heard of this.
Oh, yeah, good point. We.
Mhm.
Who is we?
Yeah.
But also, would it be creepier if it said we or creepier if it said I?
I think it's like one guy calling himself we, which is way creepier.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Very well said.
He's like, me and the other would like to talk to you.
Yeah. It's like, we love having dinner guests. It's like, you live alone, you freak. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Then it says, this photo shoot is done at a studio and it is just a couple people. You are naked.
Just to be clear, remember the theme of this photo shoot.
In case you forgot what I said,
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it was very recently mentioned. I mean, in the title, you might even say, almost. But then it says, if this is something you would like to do, we do need several photos of your body, frontal and rear body shots, preferable nude, but we can try and work with underwear shots.
This
Underwear.
guy's spelling is so fucking bad. I'm not a great speller, but like something
It's the
you
same.
would like to do, something you would like to do,
Yeah.
and then underwear shots, 2 words, WARE.
You would think.
He spells like the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah,
It's all
you would
written
think.
in cutout letters from magazines.
Right?
You would think that even like the Craigslist HTML like post editor would catch some of this, and like, he just
There would be
deliberately
the
ignored it.
ziggly lines underneath everything.
Yeah.
But this dude was way too horny to do a once over on his paragraph here.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta get this out.
And then it says, last sentence of the ad says, the pay for this is $100 per hour. And that's
Well, you know exactly what this is. He's trying to get a bunch of nudes. And then what he does is send the email like, oh, sorry, it didn't work out. We got someone else, but thank you for the frontal and rear body shots.
100%. Yeah, he's just trying to get some frontal and rear body shots. But he could also work with some underwear shots.
Yes.
Immediately. Okay, I feel like you go there. There's one mattress, diagonal on the floor, and that's what he wants you to lay down on in your underwears.
Yeah.
And you can see like the sweat stains from like a previous body on it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened to that guy?
Yeah. He keeps trying to tell you that all of it's just different times he spilled Nutella.
It's like Nutella's too thick. How did you even spill it?
It would spill so slowly. What are you talking about?
It takes a while.
Yeah, I spilled so much Nutella there, it tore the mattress.
Looks like
I
a
would say this
really
job
deep-
doesn't sound super legit to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no, and I'm also, just keeping it real. I'm gonna say no because I'm afraid he'd put me in the funny category, and I don't want.
Imagine getting the job though, and it's great, and you have to put it on your resume and use them as one of your references.
Some Denver dude.
Yeah, he sends an email on my behalf, but he spells my name wrong. I'm gonna say
Rick,
no. I'm out.
Rick was really good at the photo shoot.
Rick Araglamo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also gonna say fuck this place. I just wonder a little bit. Is this like unique to Denver at all? Does this feel Denver-y, or is this guy playing the same game that our Sacramento friend was playing? Like he's just kind of going all over.
Yeah, it feels more weird Craigslisty than specifically Denver to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just started this with like, "Hey, I'm stopping through Denver for a few hours," and I.
It'll be really sad is if I was just thinking about your funny category, Nick, or any of our funny categories. You send him the shots, and then he just responds like funny.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
one.
you. This picture of your penis is going under the hilarious category.
But yeah, I mean, Bryan, what do you think? Fuck this place or no?
Yeah, I got to go with fuck this place. I will say the one Denver-y thing I do feel coming out of this ad is we have learned to use all types of men's bodies. So it's very inclusive.
Yeah, that's true.
Very liberal, very Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, again, that's, you can teach an old dog new tricks, apparently.
Oh, yes.
Hey, what's up,
guys?
What's
Nick
up,
and Chase
everybody?
here. Nick,
Wanted to remind you that you can text.
give us a shout, guys.
You
Let
can give us
know
a shout in a voicemail
Yeah.
or text.
at 470 bad jobs.
You while you're listening to this,
Yeah,
you can
right
be
now.
like, "I'm listening to your fucking bumper ad
Yeah.
for your own podcast."
You're at work right now. Your boss is yelling at you. And you know what? Because you're listening to this podcast, fuck your boss.
Yeah, for sure. Just start texting right
Yeah,
then.
right now. Pull out your phone right now in front of your boss right now. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah, just do
You
it.
look him right in the eyes. You text 470 bad jobs.
And you say, "I'm texting a podcast called Fuck This Place." You know who I'm
And
talking.
he's gonna be like, "Oh no!"
And you know who I'm texting about?
Yeah. Please, not me.
Or he'll be like, "I'm such a fan."
yeah.
That could happen. Managers are welcome to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think they'll like it, but yeah.
I don't think they're gonna like it. But what if you're not a bad manager?
Uh-huh. Well, then I never met you.
Yeah, but either way, yeah. So you can text or again leave a voicemail.
470 bad jobs, guys. Again, 470 bad jobs.
That's the way it is. So thank you so much, and back to the show.
Back to the show.
All right, Bryan, what is the first job you ever had?
I was an intern at the Sacramento Bee.
Ooh.
Oh.
So I think they paid like minimum wage, which at the time was like $7.25, but you work 2 hours a night once a week. So you're making a whopping like $100 a paycheck after taxes. But yeah, basically, I was a journalism student in high school and then became a journalism major in college until I flunked out. So I thought this would be good to put on my resume. But basically, when you're an intern at the newspaper, you don't do anything that has to do with like writing or reporting. You're just like their bitch.
Yeah.
Anytime you're an intern, you're someone's bitch, basically.
So
That's
what they
the
have you
truth.
doing, like coffee or sweeping or what?
So you're on a computer, but this
Okay,
was like
good.
2004, 2005. So the newspaper is like still pretty important, more important than it is like today because we have the internet. The internet was like still younger then. So there was a phone, and the Sacramento Bee had a phone number that like the weirdest people would call, and literally it would just be like, what time is the Kings game on tonight? Like your shit you would know on your own. And you would just look it up and tell them, and it's like this, you wasted a phone call. And then sometimes there would just be people who had no one to talk to and would just call to talk to you, which was cool because like you're an intern, so this burns like 30 minutes of your 2-hour shift.
Right.
And they didn't care either. Like, oh, that's Cheryl. Like she calls once a week to just talk, so just talk to her. Like, wait, this you're a newspaper. Like you can just tell this person not to call, but like it's so stupid that they were like, no, just talk to her. It's fine.
It's like they're just like, yeah, we gotta send a couple reporters out to cover that double homicide. But also, Bryan, can you talk to Cheryl? Her grandkids never come over, so she gets money.
Just keep her busy. And then another thing, I know I for sure killed maybe hundreds of fishermen. We would do the tide tables. Which tell you when low tide and high tide is. That would be printed in the paper every day.
Yeah.
And they gave me like this key that would tell you like this number correlates to high tide or low tide, and I never really learned it, so I just fucking every time it was a roll of the dice, baby. And no one checked it either, so like I would just put it in and they would print it in the paper, and then some fisherman would look at it and God be with you, brother, I have no idea what happened to you.
That is so great. Man, and then like back then people really relied on that. Like they really needed that.
It's so funny that like there's like a news reporter on the scene, like, another sad day here at the port as 15 more fishermen have died.
We have no idea what's going on. It's just it's an epidemic.
Oh man, that's such a classic example of like a job you would for sure give to an intern, because it's like it feels so easy, and it's definitely a job that an intern would just fuck to all shit because they're too afraid to ask anybody if they're doing it.
Yes. Because my direct superior as an intern was this woman named Barbara, and she was like on the sports beat, so she would be writing real articles and you wouldn't feel like you could bother her. So she told me how to do the tide tables once.
Yeah.
Which I know for sure someone in the paper was supposed to do, but they didn't want to do because it was very meticulous. So they're just like, give it to the fucking intern.
Of course.
And I know I fucked it up big time.
Oh man, I just love the idea of a person, like they're planning like an important fishing trip, either recreational or for their literal livelihood. And I just like to know that like the lesson they learned, that one day.
In my mind, I was like, if you're a good fisherman, you can tell by going out to the water. You don't need me.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, fuck them.
I like to think that it's it's like a new stepdad that's taking out his stepkids fishing for the first time.
That's the person you're hurting the most. I agree.
And then he's just like, okay, it'll be the low tide at 7:30, and then it just cut to that scene in A Perfect Storm where the boat's going up and the waves.
The boat's like going into the wave.
Yeah.
Bryan's just like, all right, whatever.
I'm an intern. I come in once a week. I don't know.
Once a week. So wait, hold on. Just a clarifying question. Were there did you have to do that for the whole week? You came in.
So
you're the only source.
It was this big thing that we got from Fish and Wildlife. Yeah. And it was like just numbers. Yeah. And they told me the key. Like they told me this number means low tide. And I just couldn't remember what shit meant. Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know, nighttime low, morning high. I don't know. I just remember being so confused and no one double checking it either, and just being like, all right.
Yeah. I also like to think that there's one person who got fucked. Like that guy who ended up in A Perfect Storm, he definitely got fucked. Right. But then he starts to figure it out because you fucked it up the same way every time. And so he figures out oh no. It says noon. It's actually 7:35. Right. The math on every single timetable. You'll get the right ones, but you got to work for it.
Bryan just turns him into Captain Ahab. This bitter character that's trying to fight Bryan.
Yeah, track him down.
How long were you there for, bro?
I think it was like a 6-month internship. So it was like fall into like winter break, and then that was that. Yeah.
How'd you get it?
Basically you just had, it was like every internship, like you write one page of like why you want to be a journalist. So it was probably some bullshit like I love writing and I like to find stuff out, and then you know you have to really explain why you love journalism, and then you get the job and like, all right, here, tide tables. Nothing to do with journalism.
Yeah, you just hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, Bryan. So then, what would you say is the worst job you ever had?
100% retail at Macy's.
Oh man,
yeah. I still get PTSD to this day when I walk into a Macy's, because whenever, Nick, you know, you worked at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
We've talked about, and whenever you just see go backs somewhere, you know, like as a civilian, no one knows what that is, but once you work retail, you know, like, oh fuck, it's like someone's job to put all that shit away, and that was my job.
Oh fuck, you did that at a Macy's?
Yeah.
That's got to be that's got to be an extremely busy changing room.
It's horrible, and once, Chase, have you ever worked retail in your life?
I've never done retail, food service, no retail.
When you work retail, that's when you figure out that most of the planet is dumb, because everyone you come in contact with can, like, you're just like, how did you tie your shoes to get to the mall today?
Yeah.
Because I had a guy just bring in pants, no tag, nothing, a brand that we didn't carry at Macy's. And he's like, my daughter bought me these. I want to return them. And it was like, do you have a receipt? Do you have a tag? And he goes, no. She said she got them here. And I'm like, how do I just, I can't just return pants. I can't do anything with this. It's like he'd never been to a store before. It was crazy. So you meet a lot of people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like every Macy's changing room I've been in as well, there's a lot of needles on the ground. Like
yes, it's the pins that they put in the dress shirts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so it's like a fucking Hell in a Cell match everywhere you go at Macy's.
There's like 6 people bleeding in every Macy's I go into, all bleeding from their feet.
How did you get the job, or how old were you?
I was probably 19 or 20, so I had flunked out of college and come back home. Nick, this is probably like around the time we met. I started doing stand-up and I needed a day job. So yeah, I started working at Macy's. I was working at the city pool during the summer, but that was seasonal, and I needed a regular gig. And then the seasonal pool job ended, and it was starting to become the holiday season, and Macy's was hiring more people for the holidays. So
of course.
I got hired on and then kind of stayed on past the holidays because I was like good or whatever.
Yeah. What they mean is you just weren't the worst fucking person.
Yeah, exactly. Turnover in retail is so high. Like when you're a good employee, it just means you don't show up to work drunk.
Yeah.
It means
you work with the craziest people in retail because it's the bottom rung of employment. Like, dude, there were people who, like, they couldn't fire anyone, even though they threatened it all the time because the turnover was so high. One guy was like a bassist for a band and just disappeared for a month, and then came back to work like nothing happened. I was like, that's badass, dude. He's like, yeah, they don't fire anyone.
Yeah.
And everyone who works in a retail, like when you look at like everyone who's employed there, it always looks like the cast of like the survivors in a zombie movie.
Yes.
Like it's just this ragtag people. There's just like one 17-year-old girl and an 88-year-old man, and they like
Dude, this is why like capitalism in America is so sad. Like I worked with a retired teacher because she didn't make enough from her Social Security. She needed extra money part-time from Macy's.
100%.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
You devote your whole life to
19-year-old comedian and like a 60-year-old teacher.
Yeah, like you devote your whole life to teaching kids and like bettering them, or even just like being a shithead, but you're still there and you babysit them all day. You know? And then it's just like, all right, well, that's over. Time to stock blouses until I die
and work with 19-year-olds.
Yeah, just like a 19-year-old little fucking shit, you know?
Oh, and the stealing was rampant.
Right.
Dude, employees, like, fuck shoplifters. Employees stole the most. It was insane, dude. Just like
crazy.
Walk out of the store with shit. Wild.
It's crazy when you think about it, because like the profit margins are so high on the clothes that they can just afford to have. Like, of course they say like, oh yeah, you know, it gets more expensive, more people steal, but it's just like, no, I'm sure there's an accountant somewhere that like literally just does the math and it's like, oh no, we'll lose this much. Just
it's built
like,
in.
A leaky boat, basically, of just like employees and brave people just stealing shit all the time.
It's like Steve walks in wearing the shirt he stole yesterday. He's wearing it to work.
That literally would happen. They only fired one woman the whole time I was there, and it was because she did credit card fraud. She was taking down people's credit card information.
Yeah,
and that was like the only thing. But everyone else who like stole clothes, they didn't give a fuck. They were like, "There's nothing we can do."
The only reason they fired her was because the FBI came in.
Yes, like, damn it, we have to fire her.
So like, how did you hear about the job? Like, how did you get it?
I think I just applied online. Like, I was so dumb and naive. I was like, what would be a cool place to work? Oh, like, I'd like to work in the mall. So, Nick, you know the Galleria in Roseville, right? It's like the big mall in town. And I just spent a lot of time there as a teenager.
Sure.
And I was like, it'd be cool to work there. And it like an idiot, you find out like it's the most garbage place on earth to work.
Yeah, right. Any teenager, like, I think when you're a teenager and you want to work in the mall, because I was like the same way. It's like the idea of like when people think that moving to the big city is going to be great. And then
yeah.
And you're just like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Dude, right now during like quarantine, don't you want to just be in your parents' house so bad?
Dude,
like,
oh my God. Dude, just hanging out.
But yeah, I did. It sucks because you're on your feet all day, and then you know once a year there's inventory where you work your shift, come back to work, and work through the night scanning shit. To make sure like the count for all their product is right, and it's just. And then when you do inventory, they buy you like Chipotle, and it's like this big deal. Like, look, we got you Chipotle for working fucking midnight to fucking 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's like you got Chipotle and then Oreos.
One bag of Oreos for like 80 people on the floor.
I love when people give you just like the like bare minimum of treats. Just to be like, well, we're not abso-fucking-lutely awful.
Nick, did you ever have to do the morning fire up?
What do you mean?
So at Macy's, if you ever work the morning shift, which I barely did because I was still like technically in community college, they would have like two managers come out with like a tambourine, and then they would do a chant. Like, this is Macy's, we are the best. We're gonna sell. And then you would have to do the chant back, and it felt like the most psychotic thing ever.
That's
like you were in a cult.
Okay, so question. Are any of these people who are quote unquote selling, are they getting commission on any of this?
Some people, I did not because I was just a cashier, but if you worked in shoes or suits, you got retail. I think jewelry probably too.
Right.
But
and you all were doing, everybody in all those different categories, including you, were in that same chant. You would think that they would want to specialize that chant, you know?
No, exactly. No, dude, working retail is so insane. It's a cult. I don't understand like people who want to move up at places like that and like become managers or something.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, we didn't have any kind of a chant like that. That sounds insane that they made you do that.
Yeah.
Casual about it. You're like, Nick, did they ever waterboard you?
Yeah.
But it does seem like it sucks because I've done so much shopping at Macy's, but doing this podcast has shown me that Macy's is pretty evil to their employees. You're the second person to say Macy's, and our other dear friend Chaz, who I've talked to off. Has casually mentioned that he'll probably say Macy's is his worst job when he comes
I remember Chaz worked at Macy's too, and we talked about that all the time. Like, I could never shop there again just because walking into they're all kind of set up the same way. Yeah. So just walking in, I just get like Vietnam flashbacks. Like, ugh.
Everyone giving you that weird Fight Club head nod.
Yeah.
Like they can tell you that like the stink of Macy's is still on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. They show you a scar that you also have. Like they have a scar like on
It was like, how did I get that?
Yeah, it seems like I think you're right. I think Macy's is probably the worst department store because the other ones don't brand themselves as like if you go to a Sears, like Macy's is kind of trying to be this sort of magical brand. I think.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
Disney style. Like
Yeah.
they really go hard into the holidays.
Mhm.
And you know, there's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. So everything Macy's, people there really either drink the Kool-Aid or are like me, who are like, fuck this place.
Yeah.
It's a very weird dynamic of you have people who are like fans of Macy's working there, and then people who are just like, I need a job.
All right, let's talk about for a second about these fans of Macy's. Like, what do they have that make? What do they talk about if they like? I worked at the Warner Brothers studio tour, and people were fans of the Warner Brothers properties. You know, they would talk about how much they loved Harry Potter, and I was like, that's not real. These aren't real people. You're a sad person. But at least I could be like, I get it. There's lots of movies to watch, you know. What are people who are fans of Macy's, what are they a fan of?
They have like their annual sales that people like are really like friends and family sale that people get really into. And then they have their seasonal sales, and then they have like their credit card where like I think every spring you get like 30% off, and then like every winter you get like they have huge sales quarterly, so people get really into that stuff. And then if you work there, you get even deeper discounts. But it's a scam because when you get hired at Macy's, they force you to get a Macy's credit card.
No fucking shit.
Like you can't not get one. You either get a credit card or a prepaid card where you can put a portion of your paycheck into. So I got the prepaid card, so that like they're like it makes sense to do because you get a discount. Plus, you need clothes because you have to like. And at Macy's, you have to wear a shirt and tie if you're a man, and a dress if you're a woman.
Yikes!
So yeah, dude, a lot of your paycheck just goes right back to Macy's. It's so fucked up.
They're like, well, you need clothes because every month or so, someone from Macy's breaks into your house and steals all the So here we have this prepaid credit card, and you know, it's just good.
Use it wherever.
I will say that because like I have a Macy's credit card. I still have it. It was like the first credit card I ever got, and like
it's a lot of people's first credit card because they push you to tell everyone to get one.
Right at the store.
And I get all kinds of like mail from them and about their sales, and it'll be like they'll have spring sales all year long.
Yes.
And it's just like
the dead. It's a blizzard. Macy's spring sale. Get your bathing suit today.
Macy's, you've sent me 5 one-day sales in a row. It's like, that's 5 days, Macy's. That's a 5-day sale.
Yeah, if you're buying clothes at full price at Macy's, you're a fucking rude.
Oh yeah, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, it's just like it's like they're trying to manipulate people's sense of reality, and then when you go in there,
they're like a fucking True Detective villain. Time is a flat circle.
Just like you walk in there and there's an employee in the back who's like got to do his early morning, gets put in a full Nelson and then punched in the ribs to like get pumped up before the workday.
All right, so there's fans.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's like you were saying, Chase. They create like other than JCPenney's or Sears, they try to create like this sense of magic and wonder, almost like Disney. Especially if you come to New York and go to the flagship store in Herald Square during Christmas time, they have like animatronics. It literally looks like Disney. And then they also have like their spring flower show here, where like it's a free exhibit of like beautiful flowers, and they give you free stuff, and it's so people like come to New York just to go to that Macy's here,
right?
But it's like the same shit as your Macy's in your hometown. It's
still
like we don't have better shit.
It's still just like a weird fitting pair of Lee pipes or whatever.
That's the other thing. Macy's is not nice. Like Nordstrom's is nice.
Yeah,
Nordstrom's was on the other side of the mall, and they have really nice like designer stuff. Macy's is still just like regular stuff that you could get at Marshall's.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like Ross or whatever. Like it's gonna get there, you know.
Yeah. Macy's is like they're trying to act like it's upscale to have a T-shirt of Tommy Pickles.
Ross and Marshalls is like the NXT to Macy's. It's where clothes go to get ready to go to Macy's.
Yeah, correct.
You can't for clothes.
Well, like how long were you there?
I was there probably for a year. I worked like one holiday season and I quit right before the next one because I was like, I can't work another Christmas.
Of course.
Yeah, because you have to work Christmas Eve. They give you Christmas Day off, and then you have to work the day after Christmas. The day after Christmas and Black Friday are the two worst days to work.
Yeah.
Because that's when everyone comes to the mall.
Yeah.
And is just Black Friday buying shit, and day after Christmas returns, and returns suck.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. You would think there would be a way to make it easier, but they just don't want to, like, you know, like they just don't want to pay for it is probably
No,
it.
that's the thing. Yeah, they don't want to take stuff back. And it's just the Macy's return system is so, it's more insane than any other place. I love the Walmart return system of we'll take anything.
90 days,
you
no
can
questions
go into your
asked.
closet right now, grab something. Walmart will give you store credit for it.
Yeah.
But Macy's, we would print our own code that was different from the actual tag on the clothes because we had our own system for return. So you would have to like input the item, describe what it was, describe the reason for the return. They tell you not to take everything, but I'm like a 19-year-old kid. I don't want to fight an adult. Even though I was technically an adult. I took everything back. I didn't give a fuck. Other than the guy who had pants from nowhere, I took everything back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't return a pair of pants that are just like from a black hole.
I would, but like if you had a tag, I'd take it back, but it's like
like literally take a lap, steal a tag from another pair of jeans in this store, and then come right back and you're good, dude.
Yeah, you could just do anything to prove that you didn't make these pants yourself.
Oh, Christ. All right. Well, Bryan, we always close the podcast with 3 questions. The first one is for the worst job. When were you done and how did you quit? Like when did you realize like I'm going to have to leave? And then how did you actually leave?
Macy's is such a huge corporation, so you wouldn't see your manager every day. They would have different schedules. So like I said, I was it was the fall. I had worked one fall to the next fall, and I didn't want to work another holiday season. So it was like September or October, and it was the day my manager wasn't there. So I just fucking left, and I just didn't go back. I never told anyone I quit. I just left.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I knew it was like it's fucking Macy's. Like I can always use it as a reference because when they call, they'll never get my actual manager.
Oh,
for
sure.
They'll just verify that I was employed there.
Correct.
So I just walked out and never came back.
Nice. Yeah. Well, so just what was going on like in your head at that moment? You're just like because are you a cashier at this point?
Yeah,
like,
I'm a cashier. I didn't tell any of my coworkers that I was quitting. Like most of them probably thought I was just murdered. I didn't tell because I didn't give a fuck about that place at the end. And I remember my last day. I was just so a lot of people don't know this. When you're a cashier, you can just do your own discounts. So it was just like a fucking Bryan Macy sale. I was just giving everyone 50% off on shit. Like I didn't give a fuck. I was like, this is my last day. They can't fire me. So it was just like, oh, here's 50% off. Oh, yeah, you know, here's a discount. And then I just bounced.
That's a noble way to go out because you could have just gone out, paying.
That's true. I did feel like I was
Robin
making
Hood.
a huge I was making a huge difference, in a lot of people's lives.
I mean, you were.
Why? And another reason I quit because I felt so evil because Macy's really was fucking up people's credit scores. They would tell us to ask everyone for a credit card,
of course,
to sign up for the Macy's credit card, and then we would run their credit information, and a lot of people would get denied. And getting denied for a credit card fucks up your credit score. And I can't count how many times people would get denied for a credit card, and then we would just call the next customer and just be like, oh, sorry, you didn't get approved for the credit card, so you'll get something in the mail explaining why. And that just happened so many times that it made me feel sick. And even people who did get approved for the credit card, it was like a credit card they didn't fucking need, because they already came to the store with money.
Yeah. They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Like, if you come to the mall ready to buy something, you have a credit card already. And Macy's Macy's is evil. It's a fucked up place.
Oh, for sure. I don't think anyone's going to defend Macy's on this podcast. Well, did you have to like shut down your register, or did you just like?
Yeah. I shut it down, and then I did my drawer, cashed out, and then just pieced and never saw anyone ever again.
That walk out to the parking lot's got to feel good.
It felt really good.
Okay, so second question is, what's one good thing you took from that very bad job?
It was my first like real job. So it made me feel like, okay, if I could do Macy's, anything is better than that.
Yeah.
And I think because I don't have a college education per se, and it really made me like feel like I have to make it in comedy.
Right.
And do not take comedy for granted. When some people complain about stand-up or writing sometimes, and to me, it's like the coolest job ever that we get to just do comedy. And I always think back to like how shitty of jobs I've had in the past, especially Macy's, and am just very grateful that I get to do something fun now. Well, not now, because
in general.
Yeah.
As a general rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of like a calibration.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone should work a shitty job for sure.
100%.
Just to get that experience.
Yeah.
But once you've worked retail, stand-up is like a breeze, I feel like. And retail kind of prepares you for stand-up, because you have to literally like talk to strangers all day that are psychotic.
Yeah.
Right.
Retail is like crowd work, but you're not allowed to be a smart ass to them.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, hey, fuck you. And you're like, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you just have to treat every concern. You have to treat every concern like it's the most serious thing you've ever encountered.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can do something about that. All right. Well, then last question, not related to that worst job, is if you had to give up on your dreams right now, which, Corona's kind of already done that, some of that for us, but if you had to give up on your dreams right now, like your comedy dreams, and you had to pick like a new direction or like a new career, what might that be?
I'd probably go into something to do with comic books, like some sort of animation.
Yeah.
I always like to draw. As a kid. So, and I even thought now, like, how every once in a while you think like you need to quit comedy because it's too hard.
Yeah.
So like, I still buy comic books now, and you see like the Kubert School of Drawing, and I always saw that as a kid, and it's in New Jersey. So I remember one time, like this wasn't very long ago, I Googled my house to their school. I was like, oh, I could commute. It's in New Jersey. I could totally go there and learn how to become an artist. I have some natural skill because I did it as a kid and I was pretty good. So it would probably be like something like that.
Yeah. Do you ever make any of those comics now, or like do any of that drawing now? Or do you
I doodle a lot. Yeah. Like if I'm ever writing something or like taking notes for something, the margins are just full of like fucking X-Men. I'm a child. I'm a huge child.
Well, that's cool. Like, so you would consider going to like some kind of school to get that kind of kicked off? Yeah,
maybe even like becoming a tattoo artist. A lot of the tattoo artists that I know now are self-taught, so you kind of just become friends with an artist and they teach you. So that would be cool.
Yeah,
like something in the world of animation, I think, is what I would get into, because that's still kind of fun. And it's tough for me to have like a real job. I've had like real office jobs for many years, and they all made me suicidal, like literally suicidal, to where I had to get on medication. I don't think I could function in a regular 9 to 5 like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like even the tattoo artist is like, it's kind of like you run your own little small business, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like you kind of rent shop space or whatever, and like you
And
just
you
get
can kind of
clients.
make the schedule however you want to make it. Yeah.
All right, well, that sounds pretty cool. I love that answer.
Mhm.
Nick, you feel good?
Yeah, I feel great, dude.
Oh,
This was
Bryan,
awesome.
where can people find you on the internet if you want
Oh
to be
yeah, I'm
found?
at Bryan Yang on Twitter, at Bryan L Yang on Instagram, and I have the podcast as well about food with my friend Ariel. It's called What's Eating You. So just search that on Google, and you can find it everywhere you get podcasts.
And we'll also put those links in the show notes, including a link to the podcast,
Oh, great!
so you can check it out there.
I love this.
Awesome.
This was super fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on, man. I love you, bro.
I love you
Absolutely.
too, Chase. Super nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah,
I
great
wish
meeting
we could
you.
all meet in person.
So glad that
Nick,
you're safe.
Thank you. I'm glad you're safe, Nick. It's so good to see you, man. It's
So
been
good
too
to
long.
see you, brother.
Well, fuck this place.
Love this guy.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Don't forget to share the podcast and subscribe. If you want to write in, number's 470 bad jobs. That number is in the show notes. We have some updates from Jordan coming soon. Does he have coronavirus? You'll have to wait and find out. Also, we're on YouTube now. If you click that link tree in the bottom of the show notes, that'll take you straight to our YouTube page and you can see us. We can't see you. That's not how it works. Okay. Bye for now. Fuck this place.